about the test?
Oh yeah, it was an entirely selfish question. Atlas Realty.
Yep.
Do they have a good training program?
No.
No.
Atlas, Charlie, the broker, great guy. I don't think he's really focused on growing the business. So, like, there are only a couple of agents left, really. So I think he's mainly focused on just working the business himself. So, and even before that, he's very old school. So really what you would get is you'd get like one-on-one time with him, and he's not the most technologically enabled person. So there's a place for that. Like, everybody can do business differently.
Yeah.
But not a place to go and get like training and mentorship and that kind of thing. Yeah.
You know, I wonder if the reason they stopped putting so many realtor signs for people squatting. Like, I was watching this thing on YouTube. It was because of that. Like, they know if someone knows the house up for sale, take the sign out. You know.
Yeah. Well,
but I started to see less and less of those realtor signs. Oh, the house is actually for sale. I'm like, this. It's not posted.
Usually, I don't know that it's for that reason. It could be, but
that's what I heard watching. It was like 60 minutes or something.
But usually, whether the sign is out in front or not is at the owner's request.
At the owner's request.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, sometimes the owner just doesn't want their neighbors to know, or like you said, if it's sitting vacant, they don't want it to be a target.
Because they were saying they were gonna, like, the people destroyed the house and they couldn't kick them out. They were like, we were better off just having someone rent it out for a couple months. That we were.
Well, and then also if you're in certain communities, like I mentioned the Hideout before. Up in the Hideout, you can't put signs on.
I do work on the Hideout a lot.
Yeah, but I don't think they're allowed to put signs on.
Yeah, I do. We're not. Yeah.
Right. So what's the other thing I was going to mention? You mentioned squatting. So as a good example, a guy bought a house around the corner from where I live and was going to flip it. He got done and apparently couldn't get what he wanted out of it, decided to rent it. So it's sitting there vacant. Well, I'm driving by on my way home, and I see people moving into it.
Not making no more.
Yeah, week later, I find out that they weren't his tenants. Somebody had broken into it and rented it out to other people. So it wasn't a squatter. It was a tenant, but it was a tenant of someone who broke into it and rented it to someone else. And they actually moved into it before the actual owner realized that these tenants moved into it.
The ultimate sublease.
Just
Yes.
entrepreneurs. Just real estate people in the game, just like everybody.
So what did he do about that?
Right.
I don't exactly know how he got them out. I don't know. I mean, they don't have a legal right to be there, and so you're looking at like an ejectment because they're not your tenants, so you can't evict them. I mean, realistically, you're gonna have to work it out. I mean, most people, they're gonna realize. And who knows? Maybe I don't think he kept them as tenants because they weren't the same people who were there shortly thereafter. So they did leave. But yeah. I mean,
you know the squatting, the statute. If you get them early enough, you can charge them with breaking and entering. The only way they can establish residency is have a piece of mail.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, once the mail starts coming.
But see, they didn't break and enter. See, the person who rented it to them broke in and handed them a key.
They got something right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were duped. They didn't take it. Like, usually.
I know the mail thing though. Yeah, once residencies.
Yeah, the law establishes a responsibility based on largely like your intent. These people had no intent to do anything wrong. They were duped. You know, so I don't know whether they ever figured out who they gave money to, but
wow.
You know. Yeah, it happens a lot. The last rental whatchamacallit, Cole Street. When I advertised that rental, I only put it on Zillow originally. And within a few days, apparently somebody took my pictures and posted it on Facebook Marketplace. And they were conversing with people, apparently trying to get money out of it. And they were because one of the people who came to see it told me about it. I'm like, let me take a look at it. They were saying, oh yeah, that because I put on there specifically that I am an agent in the ad, and they were like, oh no, that agent we were having work for us, but he's not representing us anymore. Yada yada. They were pretending to be the owner.
How do you like having property on Cole Street?
Like it just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
That's an interesting area right there.
He doesn't live there, so.
Yeah, I don't live there. Yeah. I mean,
I saw fun fact though. I saw a drug deal happen there, where some girl was carrying a fake baby with a jacket around it.
That's nuts.
Well, you're
Right on
talking.
the
Wait, are you
sidewalk.
you're talking Cole Street, Wilkes-Barre,
Oh, with Cole Street.
Nanticoke,
Oh, you're talking about okay.
Nanticoke. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know anything on Cole Street in
All right.
Wilkes-Barre.
Cole
Yeah,
Street,
that would be
Wilkes-Barre,
different.
that's what
Yeah, yeah. Cole Street, Nanticoke. That's different than Cole Street, Wilkes-Barre.
Yeah.
Well, just
Very
a little.
Well, yeah. All right. Anything else? All
You want
right.
to talk to him or privately, or you want to get a?
I'll talk to him probably tomorrow or something.
Yeah. All right. Because he's going through like something you probably can help him out with.
Yeah, yeah. If you have questions, just
Property I
yeah,
own or don't own, I don't even know right now. Just
yeah, just give me a call. You got my card, right?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Any other questions? All right. I talked for long enough. I don't even know how long I talked for. Did I get a good 2 hours out of you?
You did.
All
right.
You did.
Almost 2.5, yeah.
Almost
Thank you.
2.5.
Whew.
Yeah,
Thanks for your time. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
appreciate it.
No problem.
That's a lot of information. To
That's
process.
a lot of talking.
Nice to meet you.
Yep, good to meet you too.
Definitely a pleasure.
Yep, thanks.
Maybe I'll turn your gas on
But-
somewhere
yeah.
else.
He's
What? You took over for the Polish guy. Was it Stan or whatever his name was?
Yeah,
He's retired.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's an electrician.
Yeah, I want your card because I.
Yeah, yeah, I'll get your card.
Yeah. So
Do you work for yourself? You work
Yeah,
for someone else?
Yeah, we're for myself.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yeah, he does a
All
lot
right.
of work
Yeah.
for me.
Good.
Yes,
Good
sir.
Excellent.
But yeah, we're gonna keep hosting these meetings.
Yeah.
Try to guide these guys in the right direction. Like I tell everybody, being retired isn't fun when nobody else is.
That's true.
So
That's true.
you know,
That's true. And like I said earlier, it's any kind of distressed situation. That's the opportunity.
Yeah.
That's where you find it.
yeah.
You know, and figure out what kind of distress situations you're best to take care of. You know, electrical. There you go.
Well,
you
you
know,
know,
a foundation guy is a foundations. You know, whatever you.
You kind of get an inside scoop when you're contracted by myself sometimes because you're in these people's homes.
See, the biggest problem
Landlord's
that
kicking
most
me out.
people have is like they rent, they don't have any financial backing, they have some money
Right.
saved, so they're all afraid to take that leap because they have no money.
Yeah. Well,
Not
That's-
thousands, but that's why I love seller financing. You don't need money. You don't need like just there's different ways to go.
Well,
about it.
what's a couple of things I mentioned? Assuming assuming a loan in your own name, or subject to. So either way. So if you found somebody who maybe they own the house next door, they bought it 5 years
Yeah.
ago. You know, maybe it's a double block.
Yeah.
You could take and assume it in your own name, and you actually would have the loan in your own name, and that's your way of buying the house. And if they want out of it, that could be a lot less money out of pocket to get in there than,
Yeah.
you know, especially if they're in a distressed situation. They need to move, you know, or subject to. You know, you could look at hard money. I've never used hard money, so that's why I did BRRRR. So for me, the way I got started was I had a relatively small amount of money to rehab the house that I bought to live in, and I was like, damn, if I spend this and rehab my house, it's going to take me a while to save up money
Yeah.
to go and invest.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I'm going to sacrifice now for the benefit later. And I said, well, I bought a house in Nanticoke for $7,250 and off of Craigslist.
Crazy.
And what did I invest into it? I think I was into it all told like 30. So I invested whatever, 20 some into it and rented it out, refinanced. I didn't get all my money out on the first one because I was new. But after that, do a house a year, same kind of a thing. And after that, I at least got out what I invested every time, mostly more. So that's kind of how you're able to grow. So that's they call it BRRRR. So buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. So if you can go buy something like best example I can give, I bought a house during COVID in 2020 for 20 grand. Stole it from a wholesaler who was operating in a shady way. So I bought it for 20 grand. I put 10 into it in sweat equity, made it, so I'm all in at 30.